Maverick Hunters 0 here. Welcome to part 2 of my tier list video. In the previous video, we took all of the legends in Season 7. We organized them to the tier list, ranking them from S to D, and explaining why I think those legends have earned those respective ranks. In this video, we're taking the same tier list we concluded with in the previous video and seeing what we could do to modify those legends in some way to bring them up to a higher rank, allowing us to pretend to be a Respawn dev for a video and have a little fun theory crafting. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well. Thank you all for watching. Now let's get into it. We're going to discuss what we think we could do to improve the legends to bring them up to par with the A and the S tier legends. Looks like we have our work cut out for us. So first we're going to do Octane. Start with the bottom. How do we make Octane great? There are several ways we can make Octane great. One of the first things that has been mentioned on stream, link in the description, is when Octane and friends, the squad only, hit Octane's jump pad, they get a temporary refractive shield. Reflective shield? Refractive shield? A shield. And that shield is it doesn't have a damage number to it. It's temporary. So imagine hitting Octane's jump pad, getting a one-shot shield, and then whatever next explosion hits you in the next 30 seconds doesn't count. So you hit the jump pad and the timer starts. You double jump, you move, and for 30 seconds, the next bullet that hits you, you just take no damage from it. So let's say you're in midair off a jump pad and someone tries to Kraber you. It just eats the shot. That'd be one way to do it. The other way to make Octane great would be to reduce the cooldown of his jump pad every time a teammate hits it. Meaning, it already is on a minute cooldown, but let's say someone, your two teammates hit your jump pads and reduce it by 20 seconds. So giving more jump pads would make him stronger. I think that increasing the amount of health regenerated by his passive would be too much, but I think the correct direction to take Octane would be to either make something more special about his jump pad or simply reduce the cooldown of it. That would make him at least a B tier. If we're really going to bring him into A tier, then you would reduce the amount of damage he takes when he activates his tactical. That's it. I think if you reduce the amount of damage he takes on his tactical and you reduce the cooldown of his jump pad and just make him extremely more mobile and easier to regenerate health in the respect that he's not hurting himself as much, I think we could bring Octane up to an easy A at that point. Going to the C tier class legends, I think that Crypto Crypto's drone needs to be able to regenerate his HP. I think Crypto's drone, if it gets shot a few times and he's maneuvered around, the drone needs to have a visible health bar in Crypto's UI. Whether he's not in his drone and it's somewhere on his heads-up display, or while you're in the drone, you see the health. And either the health recharges, or you just give the drone a shield value that shares the shield value of Crypto's body shield. So this would force Crypto to either be more tactical with where the drone placement gets, where the alt goes, etc. I think that if the Crypto player has a 100-point shield, then the Crypto drone should get a 25-point shield. If they have for example, if they have a purple shield, then the Crypto drone should get 50 shield, and just make them connected in some way. That may not be the best way to go about it, but I think just giving the drone more shield and relation to if the drone takes damage, Crypto should be punished for the drone taking damage in some way. If that's not the correct direction, then I think that giving the drone the ability to just regenerate its own shield under its own power is fine. What else would be great for Crypto? Crypto really is a Swiss Army knife. I mean, he regenerates health. I mean, regenerates health. He can crack shields. He can pick up banners. He can respawn. He can scan. Does a lot of cool stuff. But getting him in there and getting him to fight, it's just difficult by his very nature. I think the argument is increasing either the speed of the drone or the health of the drone. Make that drone make or break crypto. If you're gonna go all in and that's what crypto's supposed to do, make crypto do that. Also, I don't know why this isn't a thing already, but and someone can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think if crypto has a gold helmet on, the recharge of the drone being destroyed needs to be faster. Okay, this needs to be faster. There's no reason it shouldn't be. Um, you know, or if crypto's drone's on cooldown, if crypto's drone is broken and he scans a survey beacon physically with his body, give him the drone back. Just give him the drone back immediately. That could be another way to make his passive great. So I think all those things put together would put crypto in A tier, right? Instant drone back, faster drone back, drone with health, all those things, just because of how much utility he brings to the team overall, with his ult being super strong with the slow, the stun, and the crack, all that stuff would put him in S tier. Can we make Mirage better? Yes, we make Mirage better by giving his hollow, his decoys, hit markers. So instead of having them do that stupid voice line when you shoot them, which I know is kind of funny, but whatever, you actually make it look like you're shooting blood. So you get the blood hit marker. Boom, boom, blood, blood, and the call out in in the player's mind is Mirage one shot, and then you shoot it as a decoy, right? It's not good enough that because who cares how much health a decoy has if I shoot it with one wingman shot and it doesn't die, or if I shoot it with one pellet, one bullet, anything less than the amount of health it currently has, and it doesn't immediately fall over, or fade or whatever, then I'm not gonna keep shooting it. I'm just not gonna keep shooting it. Give it hit markers. That makes Mirage great. Okay. Shoot the decoy, give it hit markers, and make the invisible. Take away the flicker when Mirage hits his ult. Just make his things on his shoulders glow. His hollow emitters, make them glow. That's fine. Take away the flicker. We don't need that. And because Bloodhound and Crypto already counter him, right? And if they don't, when Bloodhound and Crypto scan a Mirage in his ultimate, it needs to be up. They need to be able to identify which one's the real one off tops. Outside of that, take away the flicker. Okay, make them have it, as we say. Make them have it, and if they don't have it, they get punished. If you do it that way, feel free to increase the cooldown of his ultimate. But if the ultimate isn't good in the first place, or isn't as good as it could be, it doesn't matter how low the cooldown is. If the ultimate's good, like Gibraltar's ult will kill a team, as I've stated already, it's fair that it's on a high cooldown, right? So if the ultimate isn't that good, with it's on a minute cooldown, just like Octane's jump pad isn't that good, and it's on a minute cooldown, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant if it isn't good enough. So give his decoys hit markers and take away the flash that he has when he hits his ult. And that's all you need to do. And Mirage would be great. If you want to make him an S tier legend, when Mirage respawns somebody at the respawn beacon, make the respawn faster. Just make the respawn faster. Make the ship come faster. Speed up the animation. Make the ship come faster. Make it a Mirage ship if you want to be super high speed and fancy. Hell, drop them off the Mirage Voyage if you want to. If you're not going to bring that back. Or have Mirage drop them off at the ship they stole in the trailer from, the Season 7 trailer, right? When he was with Pathfinder and Rampart. Just make him spawn people faster. He'd be a great legend, and that would bring him up to S tier if you do those three things, right? Again, give hit markers to the hollows, take away the flicker when he hits his ult, make him respawn people faster, and make the respawn animation itself faster when the legends are coming out of the ship to the ground, right? A lot of opportunity there, too, for sweet voice lines. How do we make Rampart better? We make Rampart better by a couple ways, actually. So we need to give Rampart's walls more health. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that Rampart's walls should be indestructible when they come up. I want to be very specific about this. I understand Respawn originally, when Rampart came out last season, they didn't want Rampart to be able to just set up walls and that's it in the middle of a fight. And I understand that sentiment. I agree with that sentiment. And I understand at the time that's not where they wanted Rampart to go. But at the same time, they also didn't want Rampart to be a spray and pray character where she could just set up her gun Sheila quickly and just mow down a team immediately. And now this season, they reduce the time it takes to set up the wall, reduce the time it takes to spin up Sheila, and they've said that that's slowly leaning toward, inching toward that direction. I think if you want to seal the deal on her, give her shield set up 100 health, and when it finishes setting up, refresh the health on it, right? Because it's not cool that like this massive wall that's coming up out of the ground basically has 1 hit point, 10 hit points, whatever it is. You can sneeze on it and it falls over, is my point. And then finally, when it's fully set up, now it's an indestructible wall force that needs to be dealt with. You know, it's not good enough. Her wall's not good enough. And the setup time for Sheila takes way too long. It still takes, the spin up time being reduced is great, but it still takes way too long to like set it up, drop it, get on it, and then when I'm on it, I have to stay on it, assume the team is going to eat that round. But if they're mobile, or if they move out the way, or they're behind cover, or the ring is moving, I want a bonus for being able to pick Sheila back up and either reposition Sheila to the left. Maybe I set up and it's just not quite right. Maybe I want to move it to the left, but maintain the same zone. What if I'm at epicenter or I'm at thermal and I just want to put Sheila on the other side? I can't pick her up and move her, so let me pick up Sheila and move at 50% movement speed, 20% movement speed, just so I can pick it up and sit it back down. That's all I'm asking for. And if that's not good enough, give me a huge bonus for picking Sheila back up. Okay, I'm supposed to be able to have 3 of them down in a reasonable amount of time, but there is no reasonable amount of time because by the time I set the first one up, there's no time to set the other 2 up. I already have to leave. And that just takes away the fun Rampart's supposed to be. The other thing you could do, Respawn could do perhaps, is introduce an M249 squad automatic weapon, also affectionately known as the Saw. Give me a light weapon LMG. There are not enough LMGs in the game to support her passive to make her good enough. We have the Devotion, the Spitfire, and the L-Star. Not a lot of people are going to pick up the L-Star no matter how good you buff that weapon. No one's going to pick it up. They're not comfortable with it. It's not good enough. And most people are just not going to use it. The Devotion is great, but without a turbocharger, again, people are skittish on being able to pick it up. With a turbocharger and Rampart, the Devotion is God, Rampart is God. Everything is great with the world. That leaves us with the Spitfire. And having one Legends passive only be utilized with one other gun in the game isn't good enough. Give me an LMG that uses light ammo attachments, decent sized magazine, and no frills, no bonuses. Just let it shoot like a minigun and have at it. I mean, not, a 249. That's all. That's all I'm asking for. Perhaps make it the all I'm saying is the speed of the weapon can be quick, like a 99, and make the recoil slightly difficult to control the longer you shoot it. I mean, it's not rocket science. Super easy. Give it a put a light LMG into the game, and then let Rampart have fun with it. That's how you bring Rampart up to A, right? Rampart, I don't think will ever be S class because of the movement, speed, and position. She has a little utility that she brings to the team, but A definitely in line with like Gibraltar and Watson for being a great defensive character and holding down the fort. Next up, Caustic. How do we make Caustic great? Easy. Either you increase the damage of the gas or you unnerf what you did to the gas traps. Take away the wobble when you throw the gas traps so we can throw it through the doors or through the windows. And let the gas trap be able to fully expand before it can be shot out. That's it. If you don't want to change the damage and you don't want to give me back the blind, fine. Take away the wobble, take away the immediate shutdown of the trap as it's expanding, and we're good to go. if you don't want to do any of that, if that's even unreasonable, then give the base of the gas trap some health. Give it some hit markers. Don't let it be one shot. It's not fair. Okay, it's not fair. Caustic has no movement. Caustic depends on his team for movement assistance via the Wraith, via the Pathfinder, via Bang Smoke. So if you want to round out Caustic a little bit better, don't listen to other people complaining. Okay, don't. People need to avoid Caustic Gas. He's supposed to be the toxic trapper. That's his whole point. If you step in a Caustic Gas or push a Caustic, it needs to be an moment. You need to be like, oh no, I messed up. I need to leave. I shouldn't be here. There's no reason why people need to be walking through Caustic Gas casually like it's no big deal. Like it's no big deal. It's not okay. It completely just disintegrates what Caustic is supposed to do. And the other thing you probably do is make his grenade, fix the physics of his gas/gas grenade. Oftentimes I'll throw the gas grenade and I don't mind the alert that it's about to go off. Reduce that alert, okay? I don't care if you make it a beep and then it explodes, one solid beep, less beeps. When he throws it and it comes to a stop, because the gas grenade doesn't explode till it comes to a stop. When it comes to a stop, just let it explode. It shouldn't take all that time to travel through the air, hit the ground, beep, 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 boom, and then explode. That's too much time. It's just too much time. Caustic needs to throw his gas grenade. It needs to go off. You need to push into it as the Caustic team to handle business. Make people be afraid of the gas traps again. Make gas traps great again. Okay? Something along the lines has to give. Finally, if all of that is too much, give the gas weight. Give the gas some weight. Okay? Because it's in the air. So if I put a gas trap on top of a box, and if I put a gas trap on top of a box and it goes off, let the gas flow. Let it go down. It's supposed to be. There's no reason why I should stand next to a box, gas trap on top of it, and the person next to the box isn't taking damage. Okay? There's some mechanics that need to just get fixed with it. The gas traps aren't tripping as reliably as they're supposed to. You could even say that the radius of the gas and the radius in which the gas trips needs to be the same. I think that the trip radius of the gas trap is half the distance to the max radius of the damage, and I don't think that's correct. I think that it needs to be the opposite, or they need to be equal. I think that if it's possible for you to take damage from the gas trap, you should take damage from the gas trap. You shouldn't be within the radius of the gas, but not in radius of the triplet to make it let the gas out in the first place. I'm talking a lot about a caustic because I'm a caustic man, so I kind of have a little experience on what I'm talking about here. All these things can make caustic great. Bring him up to A as a defensive legend. I don't think again, movement like Rampart. I don't think he'll ever be an S legend because then he would be overpowered. But I think some of those things, it don't need to be all those things. But I think some of those things would make caustic fantastic. Loba, easy Loba fix to make her an A legend, perhaps even an S legend. We'll leave her at S. Would be to just fix her Q. She needs to be able to throw her Q, and it needs to just be a blink. It just needs to be a blink. It doesn't need to be that slow movement she has when she comes out of it. Stop it. Knock it off. Okay? Loba has all that time while she throws it to be in slow motion, which I think is fair. Okay? Loba players have to not be able to move. Watch the bracelet get thrown. When the bracelet lands, they need to just be able to hit it and go. Let them hit the ground, put the bracelet on, and go. None of this slow motion stuff. Okay? I'm saying let them land at weapon carry speed and then immediately transition into run speed if they're unarmed or empty-handed. Right? If they got their fists out. That's it. That's how you make her S tier. Because then she brings the whole package, right? Get a kill, reposition, get a kill, supply the team with loot, and go. That would make Loba great, and she wouldn't be as dependent on other movement legends that otherwise she wouldn't need to depend on. That slow can really just really hinder any Loba player. Pathfinder, what would make him an A legend? What would make Pathfinder a better legend? I think if Pathfinder, when Pathfinder hits the survey beacon, he would do the map scan like crypto, like the map room on Kings Canyon. Yep, but only in the area where it's green. So only in the area where the next circle is. So it wouldn't be a full blown map room scan. It would be like he hits it, boom, it shows you where the next circle is, and then briefly on the mini map of your team, it shows you all the teams in that green circle where you scanned. Right? That's it. That's it. Again, that way that Pathfinder could literally guide you to the path of least resistance, get you there safely, presumably, and you'd be fine. And no, and then if you want to balance it out, let the people know that got scanned in the green circle that they were scanned. Maybe not, because then you would tell that team that, oh, I must be in the green circle. I got scanned by a Pathfinder. So maybe not that. Maybe not that. But instead of scanning the whole map, scanning that green circle and make it balanced. And as the game progresses, the ability gets worse and worse because that green circle gets smaller and smaller, right? So it would be just like his zip lines are. It would be just like his scan is already. It'd be strong in the early game, not so strong in the late game. And at this point in the game, Pathfinders aren't scanning as much as they should be, one. And two, some games you're only going to get one scan off. Some games you're going to get 3 scans off. I think it would motivate the Pathfinder to do the scans and maximize the utility it brings to the team. And lastly, we have Revenant. How do we make him? Okay, S Legend. How do we make Revenant S Legend? You need to reduce the bloom and the visual effects on his Q. It needs to not be blinding. It needs to not be there. I'm not saying the size of it needs to be smaller. I'm just saying it needs to visually not take up so much of my screen and my video card resources. It is crazy big. If you want to say the projectile is big, that's one thing. But after it sits and hits the ground, it needs to be smaller. It just needs to be easier to see through, easier to hit. That being said, if he silences someone, he should have threat vision on that person. Straight up. Revenant silences them with his spell. Presumably it's a spell. And he sees them with threat vision. He sees them like a bloodhound would see during a bloodhound scan. Period. Right? If they get silenced and they run, he's an assassin. He's a hunter in his own right. Okay? If they get silenced, Revenant needs to be able to see that shit. Straight up. Just see it. I think his Q is great. Everything else about his tactical is great. I think his ultimate's pretty good and fair and balanced, more so than it was previously. The only other thing you could do if you really wanted to go the distance is when someone gets a kill in shadow form, you just get a little bit more shadow form. That's it. I know that's kind of what Bloodhound does, but because if they did get killed, they get transported back anyway, so it's still kind of a toss up. And lastly, you can make him climb indefinitely, and if he's climbing a building that has no, if he's climbing a building that has no, balcony, plateau, or whatever, if he's gonna climb until he's out of bounds, to start the out of bounds counter sooner, I think already in some heights it's already out of bounds. I know in Olympus, if you get too high in Turbine, you're out of bounds. If you take the phase runner in the Rift in Olympus, as you're taking the phase runner out of Rift, it says you're out of bounds. So I know that's a thing. That's kind of more of a map design situation that I'm unfamiliar with. But if he could climb indefinitely, I mean, it'd be great. That'd be absolutely great. If that's not possible because of the way maps are designed and map mechanics and those markers that exist that tell the game when a player's out of bounds, then do not slow Revenant down when he hits his climb. Just don't slow him down. Get him to climb without slowing down. Do not slow down the climb speed. And then right before he takes his last step, when he reaches max, make that slow. Make that the slowest. Boom. And that way the player knows, oh, I'm at the max. There are not a lot of places that are like that for Revenant in the first place, but don't reduce the climb speed. That way he has movement, he has mobility, utility. He'd be a full package to make him an S tier. That wraps up theory crafting with the Season 7 Legends. Whew. So guys, let me know what you think. Did I classify your legend correctly? Do you think my changes are correct? Do you think they deserve the ranks they got? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments of what you think. Or you come by the Twitch stream, link in the description. I stream every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. I'd love to hear your favorite weapon and your favorite legend in the chat. I've been Zero, and you guys are Maverick Hunters. I see you guys next week for some more Apex action. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. To see more guides of gameplay, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. And don't forget, you can catch me live on Twitch by following the link in the description. I've been Zero, and you guys are the Maverick Hunters, and I'll see you all next time.